Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be testing out this new team. I tested like 3 teams prior. I went 3-2, 2-3, and 3-2. So this team was okay. It had like one major issues, which you're going to see in a little bit. So you're going to see Toxic Crow comes out, and I thought about switching, but I was like a little late on the switch. So I decided just to stay in, hopefully burn a few shields. I think I let this mud bomb go through. Not going to do a lot of damage. But these subsequent counters are going to do quite a bit from Toxic Crow. So I landed, and then I'm hoping to mud bomb down. And then we're going to see what's going to come out. It's going to be Altaria, so I switch out into Registeel, which I'm not necessarily sure was necessarily the best move on my part, especially since Alolan Marowak has such a poor matchup. But I guess Alolan Marowak is a worse matchup against. I don't know. You can let me know. I could also just stay in and let Whiscash faint, which would have been a potential strategy as well. So I need to get this second shield, but my Whiscash is so low, so I'm gonna shield. My Whiscash is so low that I'm not sure I can. Well, first off, they end up not shielding, which is not particularly great for me. And I probably should have shielded. I really should have shielded that Thunderbolt because, like, of the remaining charge moves, like that one was going to be the hardest hitting one. So, kind of a mistake on my part. Because I probably could have got off another flash cannon or at least threatened it. So I'm kind of in a tricky situation, but I think I'll be okay. I just need to sack Whiscash, which I should be able to do. Oh, he actually goes for Dragon Pulse, which actually would do a lot of damage. And didn't they have Sky Attack? I'm not sure. So anyways, it's pretty low, so I switch out. To be honest, I probably could have let. They actually go for another Dragon Pulse, which is pretty insane. And this allowed me to set up the win. So I take game number 1. I think I have 2 sets of 5 in this. I'm trying to show different teams. So it's part of the process, but some challenges like getting used to the teams and understanding the weaknesses. So as I play out, I tend to play a little better. And then I realize like a huge weakness here. They switch into Whiscash, and then I realize I don't have my team is very weak to Whiscash. And I massively get outplayed on this Whiscash mirror, despite having the energy advantage. So I think they actually even double shield. And I correctly shield the Blizzard. But because they got the mud shots off during the two mud bombs I did, they actually beat me to the Blizzard. I should have shielded this Blizzard, but who would have guessed? And then I'm gonna lose the race. And then I make another mistake. This is the set I lose. I make another mistake. I don't shield. I really should have shielded. Yeah, and then I make a mistake. I'm like, maybe I can feint down with Alolan Marowak by burning the shield. I'll take a little bit of damage from the mud shots, but not that much. But then I'm not able to feint down. As you can see, I'm like so close, and it survives with like 1 HP. I was like, oh, it would have been really nice because then it ends up costing me the match. Because this Skarmory comes out. And then, yeah, I basically have no play. I have a little bit of energy advantage versus this Alolan Marowak, but it's going to take like 3 flash cannons to be able to KO. I'm not going to be able to get to 3. So, misplay on my part. Yeah, it was going to be challenging for me regardless. Especially if they... Well, yeah, it would have been challenging for me regardless. Well, if I went Switch Advantage, then I would have came Registeel, then I would have the Alolan Marowak Mirror, and then Shadow Ball, yeah, then I would have to predict the switch and all this stuff, right? And it becomes very challenging. So, and I go for the Shadow Ball. I know this is not enough. If I have Fire Blast, then this would be enough. But yeah, I would also not be able to get to the Fire Blast because I faint. I get fainted down by the next Fire Spin. So, misplays on my part. Winning switch advantage there would have been critical, or I don't, winning switch advantage is my only case there. But his Olymeric also had a slight energy advantage, so I'm not sure how that would have played out. So, anyways, I end up in the Whiscash mirror, which is my team's very weak to Whiscash in the back. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this team. I'm just showing you some battles on how this team plays out, and you can make the appropriate substitutes as you see fit. So they end up not shielding the Blizzard, and I shield the Mud Bomb. So we're both kind of in not great positions. And then I think they shield this Mud Bomb. Yes, they did. And I think I let this go. And they land the Blizzard, so we're basically even right now. And then they switch into Registeel, and I build up a little bit of energy. And then I switch out into Alolan Marowak. I was actually hoping to catch the Focus Blast, ends up being Flash Cannon, which is fine. Again, Alolan Marowak, really great counter to Registeel. And I want to get rid of this Registeel before it lands another Flash Cannon because I don't want to burn a shield. So I'm hoping to connect with this Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is more energy efficient than Bone Club, despite being neutral and Bone Club being super effective. And they switch out into Altaria. And, I don't know. I should have waited. That was like a huge mistake on my part. Huge mistake on my part. So I switch out into Registeel, and they switch out into Whiscash, and I'm looking to land the Mud Bomb. And I think they apply a shield, but because I built up energy, I'm going to win the race. Oh, no, I don't win the race. Oh, yeah, that sucked. Lose the CMP tie, but that's quite alright. It is what it is. I would have preferred to be a little bit lower in health, but I'm going to be able to take this match pretty easily. No shields. Registeel is going to win. It only loses in the 2 shield because of like how much the Dragon Breaths do relative to the lock-ons. So I can see one more. I think they actually go for the Dragon Pulse. Yeah, they go for Dragon Pulse, which makes sense. And they go for the Sky Attack. Maybe they could have went for 3 Sky Attacks. Actually, Dragon Pulse is like 15 energy more than Sky Attack. I don't think they would have got there, but so that's probably the right play. So I end up fainting down and taking the match. Okay, so now we're what, like 2-1, 3-1, something like that this set. So pick up a very positive lead. And they switch out into Azumarill, and I switch out into Registeel. And then I'm hoping that they... so they end up shielding this. It ends up being a Play Rough, which is fine. And go for the Flash Cannon. And because it's a Play Rough variant, Play Rough Ice Beam, I'm assuming, I no shield this. Ends up being a Play Rough. And I'm going to look to land this Flash Cannon again. And then I should be... to be honest, I could have fainted down beforehand, but because I'm at a shield disadvantage, I'm looking to come out of this matchup with an energy advantage. It's a little bit risky on my part because it puts me really low. And I definitely farm over 100 energy. And they switch out into Altaria. And I land the Flash Cannon. And I'm looking to land a second one, which I just get to. And then I think I switch out into Whiscash. A little bit risky on my part. And I think I shield this. And then I think I actually just go straight up for Blizzard, because I'm pretty sure I can get to 2 Blizzards. So I'm going to overfarm just a little bit. hoping that they think it's a bait. Ends up being the Blizzard. And then they have Registeel in the back. I think, yeah, they still have a Azumarill with a little bit of health left. I'm going to let this go. Obviously, I have no choice. And then I switch out into a Alolan Marowak, and they try to switch into a Azumarill, and then I just instantly delete it, and then they leave the match. So I think I'm 3-1. I think this is the last match of this set, and then I think I get a nice surprise in my encounter. Not sure if this one takes a while to. Oh, I go against Lapras Logan, very strong trainer from the U.S. So I end up in a really bad lead, right? So then I switch out into a Alolan Marowak. A little bit risky on my part. And they're going to look to burn the energy, which I don't mind. I think I understand why, because Alolan Marowak is actually very good against their team. So they actually have Mew. And now these Shadow Claws are going to be adding up. With this Shadow Ball, the threat of the Shadow Ball is going to be like almost enough to KO. I think I shield. And then I have just barely enough health to get to a Shadow Ball. Which he ends up shielding because otherwise it would KO the Mew, and he's able to Shadow Claw down. So I'm like very hesitant. I'm like, I really hope you don't have Grass Knot. And I end up being a little bit too aggressive on this farm. It ended up working okay. I'm not actually, it didn't even matter in the end. So I'm going to land the Mud Bomb. And then I'm going to switch out to Registeel. And then I'm going to be met by the Venusaur. And I'm not going to shield. This Frenzy Plant is going to do like about 30%. And then I'm going to look to land the Flash Cannon. Because I have a shield. Clearly he would have went into his counter if he had one in the back. And then it ends up being Melmetal. And then we end up lagging. And then somehow he beats me to 2 superpowers, which doesn't quite make sense. 80 energy versus 75, but I generate energy slightly faster, which is fine. He didn't go for the Rock Slide Bait. If he went for the Rock Slide Bait and then superpowered me, then I definitely would have lost. Well, I don't know if I definitely would have lost, but it would have been... Well, actually, I think I would have lost because I don't have enough energy on my Whiscash to be able to land 2 Mud Bombs. Alright, so take that set and then collect my reward, and then I get a shiny Cobalion, so quite nice. We're going to go into this next set. I think I also go 4-1, and then I met with Hypno. This is where I make a mistake. This is where I'm like, oh, my team's very weak to Whiscash in the back. I should have switched. To be honest, I go for the Blizzard, and they ended up getting shielded, so it's not great. I think they actually land the Shadow Ball, which is also not great. And I'm just barely able to get to this Blizzard before he's able to fire off another charge move. Actually, no, they confusion me down, so not great. And I don't want to go into a Lone Marowak because I also don't want to burn any energy. Burn a shield. They end up going for the Shadow Ball again. And then I don't want to get hit by another charge move by him now. And then they come into Whiscash, and this is where I realize I'm like absolutely screwed. This team's too weak to Whiscash in the back. This is why I don't recommend this team. I don't really have any appropriate, especially with it still having a shield. Probably could have stayed in and then shielded and then got the Focus Blast, which would did probably more damage than the Shadow Ball. Almost certainly would have did more damage. And then I end up, I was hoping to not have to burn the shield there, but it is what it is. And then I think they end up having like a Registeel in the back or something. Actually, I don't even think I get to it because I get double mud bombed. Yeah, I got absolutely dominated by this Whiscash. Yeah, this is not great, and poor team comp on my side. So it is what it is. Well played by my opponent. Them shielding the Focus Blast was huge for them. Oh yeah, then they ended up having Registeel. Yeah, so if I would have stayed and then landed the Focus Blast and then farmed down, I probably would have been okay. But it is what it is, and they ended up finishing me off in this this match. So GG. We can go into this next match. I think I climbed like I started the day at 2670, and then I moved up to 2738. So this matchup's pretty good for me, especially since if they have no Psycho Boost, they're going to be able to only hit me with not very effective charge moves. But these counters are definitely adding up. And I debate switching out. And then I land this Blizzard, which puts it very low. And I think I mud shot all the way down. Or no, I switch out into a Alolan Marowak, and they don't switch out, so they just let me take out their Defense Deoxys. Oh, and they actually come out into Tropius, Tropius, which I find very interesting because I'm dealing super effective damage, but I have to go for the Shadow Ball, or connect with Shadow Ball, I should say. So I think I should let this one go. It ends up being a Leaf Blade, and then I go for the Bone Club bait because I know they're super close to a charge move. And they shield, and I think I end up shielding and then farming down. Yes, that's the case. Let's see what the last Pokemon is. Ends up being Malmetal, which is great for me. Solo and Marowak is just absolutely going to devour this Melmetal. And then the Shadow Ball is going to be enough to KO. Alright, GG. Oh, actually, no, it's not enough KO. Just barely. Just barely not enough. I'm just waiting for my next opponent. And gonna be met by Registeel, and they make it really. I even overcharged, and they still somehow got me. And I don't have a great switch in against Altaria with shields up, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, no Azumarill, I miss it, but that's quite alright. I land the Flash Cannon. They Sky Attack me. And then, I think this person like baits me so many times. Like, you're gonna see this. This is pretty incredible. I'm gonna no shield, and I'm very low health. And they do a really nice job baiting me. This is fine though. I'm gonna switch out into Marowak. They're gonna Flash Cannon me. Does about 30%. It's nothing too crazy. And think they let this go. And I go for another Bone Club. And then I'm going to look to faint down. And I forget what they go into next. Oh, they go into Altaria, so I'm going to look to land this Shadow Ball as soon as possible. They actually let me connect it. Otherwise, I would actually have a pretty difficult time beating this. I think it's actually ends up being very close because they have like a one bubble energy. Oh, I had a little bit of energy as well, but they bait me twice with Ice Beam. And then I'm able to get the self piggyback, which is great, which means I did 2 charge moves back to back without a bubble coming through. And actually, this is how crazy Azumarill is. Look, I land this, and then I look to land one more. And I'm like, I actually have a shield. Okay, I was like, that doesn't KO. And then I switch out and sack Alolan Marowak. And then all that Hydro Pump energy is gone. And then I am going to land the Mud Bomb. And take the match. So it's a very close match. We almost timed out. Okay, all right. I'm probably not going to make it to rank 10 in Great League, which is fine. So switch out to Registeel. And they switch out into Haunter, which I thought was pretty interesting. And this Haunter almost... Okay, you'll see how close this matchup is. This is kind of crazy. This is actually pretty nuts. So I decided to no shield. And they go Shadow Ball. Almost KO my Registeel. I'm just barely able to get off another Flash Cannon to burn the second shield. And then I can't even switch out. And then I switch to Whiscash, I think. I should have read that this is a Shadow Punch, but I didn't want to take any risks. And goes into Azumarill. Ice Beam. And then I'm going to look to land back-to-back Mud Bombs, which I'm able to self-piggyback. It's great. Build up to 2, then fire them back-to-back. And then I'm hoping to catch this charge move into Alolan Marowak, which I think ends up being a play rough anyways. So it's like, thank goodness they didn't have Hydro Pump. And then I built up a little bit extra, and then I'm going to land this Shadow Ball. But I realize I'm in huge trouble. Like, if this Haunter comes in, and then I'm barely able to get to the Bone Club before they get off another Shadow Punch. And then I think the last Pokemon is Registeel. I was like, oh man, this couldn't get any better. And then I'm going to look to switch right away, hoping that this Registeel can't farm up too much energy. But this matchup's pretty much over. And then the Focus Blast is not enough to KO, and then the Mud Bombs are enough to take out this Registeel. Double Regi counters. Not bad. I had a Azumarill initially, but then it kind of made me too weak to Grass, which I actually didn't end up seeing a lot in this. I think I battled this person earlier. I think they have like a Whiscash, no, Registeel, Altaria, and something else. So, pretty good scenario for me. I really should throw the... Maybe I should throw the Blizzard or something? I don't know. So I decided to no shield. Slow switch on my part. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played this trainer before. Because I'm pretty sure their strategy is Dragon Pulse, then Sky Attack. Most people not going to shield the first charge move. Not sure what kind of tactic is, but it seems to be working for this particular trainer. So Flash Cannon gets sent, and then I decide to no shield again. And they switch out into Azumarill, and then I decide to Flash Cannon this Azumarill, and then I switch out into Whiscash. And I also know that they have a Registeel in the back, but I still have a Alolan Marowak. I just need to get rid of this Azumarill, to be honest. It's causing my team a lot of problems. They actually go for the Hydro Pump, which leaves me in like a very good position because this Mud Bomb's not going to KO. And I'm gonna look to land this Mud Bomb. And let's see, they decide to come out right away. Oh yeah, so very critical decision for my opponent. I decide to go for the Mud Bomb bait. I'm like, this is the only realistic way. If they end up shielding, then I'll just double Mud Bomb them. Or maybe like triple Mud Bomb, I don't know. Well, I guess land 3. And then connect with the Blizzard, which is great for me. And then here comes Registeel, and then I think my opponent quits out after this. Because this is pretty inevitable in this match. So double Reggie counters were kind of effective, like that scenario, for example, when they saved Registeel in the back, or they switched out, and I wasn't too concerned. I could give up switch advantage, because I knew that they're not going to switch in their Registeel onto my Whiscash, so that left me in a pretty decent scenario, but kind of left me weak to Whiscash in the back, especially after my Whiscash was on, or they switch out into the Whiscash mirror and then they beat me, which happened quite a bit. So anyways, let me know what team I should be trying out, and yeah, I'm looking forward to my grind to rank 10. So anyways, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.